So last time we have discussed about the characteristics gas equation, and we have derived the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature. Now in the previous lecture we already defined the one parameter, that is specific heat capacity. You may remember or not, specific heat capacity, and we have already derived one we have already considered one equation for specific capacity and the example on calculating the specific capacity C. At that time we have derived we have considered it as C only. So C, we are now having two ways: one specific capacity at constant pressure, that is we are denoted as Cp, and another one is the specific heat capacity at constant volume, that is denoted as Cv. So just make it mistake, Cv. And in this topic, in today's topic, we are likely to consider the relationship between these two specific heats. So the fundamental equation of specific heat is Q is equal to mc delta T. Okay. So that is the fundamental equation mc delta T. But if we are considering it as specific capacity at constant volume, then it is mcv delta T or mcp delta T. So V represents specific capacity at constant pressure. So you have to keep in mind is that when we are keeping the specific pressure constant, then it is Cp, and where we are considering it as volume constant, then it is Cv. The equation remains same. Now we are likely to derive the relationship between these two. We have already discussed about the non-flow process and their equations. Q is equal to delta U plus W. That equation we already derived in the previous lectures. You have to refer the previous lecture for that, where Q is equal to delta U, internal energy plus work done W. But here what? According to the specific capacity definition, Q is equal to what? mcv delta T, if we are considering it as constant volume process. So mcv into delta T is equal to delta U plus W. If m is considered as unit, suppose we are assuming it as m is equal to 1. By default we are considering it as m is equal to 1, and then depending upon the value of the m given, we can take it in the example also. So C into V is equal to delta U plus W. Here W is equal to 0. Why W is equal to 0? Because work done is equal to P into delta V. And if V is constant, then V1 is equal to V2. So V1 minus V2 is equal to 0. So work done W is equal to 0. So your fundamental equation becomes, at constant volume process, your fundamental equation becomes this one: Cv delta T is equal to delta U as W is equal to 0. So Cv is equal to delta U plus Cv is equal to delta U divided by delta T. So we can consider it as Cv, specific heat capacity at constant volume, is the function of internal energy. So that is the derivation, that is the conclusion based on this theory. So specific heat capacity is the function of internal energy at constant volume. Similarly, we have to see the specific heat capacity at constant volume and finding out the function. So let I will explain you. If we are considering constant pressure process, that is non-flow process, then Q is equal to delta U plus W. So Q is equal to, just you have to see here, Q is equal to what? Instead of Q, we are putting it as mcp delta T at constant pressure, and delta U is equal to U2 minus U1, and V is equal to P V2 minus V1. Hence here P is constant, so V2 minus V1 never becomes 0, so W becomes not 0. W is never 0 in constant pressure process. So we are putting like this. So rearranging the term, U2 plus PV2 minus U1 plus PV1. Rearranging the term, simply we are rearranging them. And what is internal energy plus work done? That is the definition of enthalpy, H. Okay, so H2 minus H1 or delta H. Again, we are likely considering it here. M is equal to 1. So Cp is equal to delta H by delta T, where Cv is equal to delta U by delta T, but here Cp is equal to delta H by delta T. So specific heat capacity at constant pressure is the function of enthalpy, whereas specific heat capacity at constant volume is the function of internal energy. So keep in mind that specific heat capacity is the function of internal energy at constant volume and enthalpy at constant pressure. Now we are likely to make the relationship between Cp and Cv both. So U2 minus U1 is equal to mCv T2 minus T1. As specific capacity at constant volume is the function of internal energy. So U2 minus U1 is equal to mCv T2 minus T1, and U2 minus U1 is equal to mCp T2 minus T1 minus P U2 minus V2 minus U1. This is V. This is V. PV is equal to W. So V2 minus U1. Summarizing the term, both the equation. So mCp T2 minus T1 minus PV is equal to mRT. So mR T2 minus T1. As we are omitting the term P, so that we are getting all the terms in form of temperature. So it becomes very easy for us to understand or simplify the equation. So we are trying to convert it into T. Equating both the terms, as U2 minus U1 is equal to mCv T2 minus T1, and U2 minus U1 is equal to mCp T2 minus T1 minus P V2 minus V1. This is the non-flow energy equation. Both are non-flow energy equation. U is equal to Q minus W. Here W becomes 0. Okay. And equating both the term, here we are likely to equating both the term. So here you can see when we are equating both the term, M is omitted as it is the common to all the factors. T2 minus T1 is again omitted as they are common to all the factors. So remaining is Cv is equal to Cp minus R, or Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So this equation shows the relationship between Cp and Cv, where R is the gas constant, 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. That last time in the last lecture we already discussed about the gas constant. So relationship between Cp and Cv. Okay, Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Now we are likely considering one process that is called as the adiabatic process, and also finding out the relationship between Cp and Cv again. So in reference to adiabatic process, we are likely to find out the relationship between Cp and Cv. But what is adiabatic process? We are at present understanding about only polytropic process. Polytropic process, PV raised to n is equal to constant, or P1 V1 raised to n is equal to P2 V2 raised to n, where value of n is ranging between 1 to 1.4 or 1.5, as we have discussed in the previous example. So adiabatic process is nothing but the special polytropic process. Just have to see here, it is a special type of polytropic process. So adiabatic process is not new. It is a special type of polytropic process where no heat transfer takes place. At constant volume process, no work takes place. W becomes 0. Here we are likely to assume that Q becomes 0. So any polytropic process in which if Q is 0, then that polytropic process is normally called as adiabatic process in mechanical engineering. Clear? And we have already non-flow energy equation, universal non-flow energy equation, that we have already derived in the previous lectures. So by using this non-flow energy equation, Q is equal to delta U plus W, where we are putting Q is equal to 0 for the adiabatic process. So 0 is equal to delta U plus W, or delta U is equal to minus W. Okay. Or work done, we are finding out the work done. And this process we already done in the previous theories. Work done for polytropic process, W is equal to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 or n minus 1. We have already derived this equation in the previous lectures. Okay, so we have to recall this work done for the polytropic process. where P1 V1 is equal to MRT1 as PV is equal to MRT. That is the characteristic gas equation. Okay, you have to recall this. P2 V2 is equal to MRT2 minus divided by N minus 1. Okay, so this is about the characteristic gas equation where we are simplifying MR into T1 minus T2 divided by N minus 1. For adiabatic process, just have to keep in mind about these things. T1 V1 divided by N minus 1 and delta U is equal to minus W. That is for the adiabatic process. So in adiabatic process, what you have to do? Instead of N, we have to take it as gamma. Just keep in mind. Instead of N, we are taking it as gamma. Okay. So W is equal to, you are modifying the same equation that we already derived previously, that W is equal to MR T1 minus T2 divided by gamma minus 1, where gamma is called as the adiabatic index, adiabatic process index, and its normal value is 1.4, and delta U is equal to MC T2 minus T1, as specific heat capacity at constant volume is the function of internal energy. Delta U is equal to MCV T2 minus T1, or CV is equal to delta U by delta T. That is already we have derived just today. Okay. And W is equal to minus delta U for adiabatic process. So what happens here? What you have to do is MR T1 minus T2 divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to minus MCV T2 minus T1. Equating both the term. This term, keep in mind this equation, delta U, put over here, so it becomes minus here. Just you have to see same equation. And W is what? MR T1 minus T2 upon gamma minus 1. That is this. That is the equation that I will show you the equation. This equation. Okay, this equation. So both the equation, you have to use this both the equation and equating this both the equation to get this one, to get this equation, where MR T1 minus T2 divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to minus MCE T2 minus T1. And further simplifying this equation, you will get, just have to simplify this equation, MR T1 minus T2, instead of T1 minus T2, we are putting T2 minus T1. Just have to see, instead of T1 minus T2, we are putting T2 minus T1 divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to minus MCV T2 minus T1. Okay. So this becomes, I have made a small mistake here. Here you have to put minus, because we are putting, sorry, here you have to put minus. Yes, instead of T1 minus T2, we are putting T2 minus T1. So it becomes minus. And both side minus will go away. Both side minus. So this becomes R, M is gone away, minus is gone away, and T2 minus T1 is common from both sides. So what is remaining? R divided by gamma minus 1, that is this, R divided by gamma minus 1 is equal to CV. Okay. So you have to again rearrange this term, R divided by gamma minus 1 CV. So R divided by CV is equal to gamma minus 1. So gamma is equal to R divided by CV. Just have to see R divided by CV plus 1. So 1 becomes on this side. Simple mathematics. 1 is transferred on right hand side and it is put it over like this. So gamma is equal to R plus CV, R divided by CV plus 1. Okay. So simplifying this will give R plus CV divided by CV. Gamma is equal to R plus CV divided by CV. Okay. And just have to see what is R, as we already derived just before in today's lecture itself. R is equal to Cp minus Cv. So put R is equal to Cp minus Cv plus Cv divided by Cv. So Cv gone out, cancelled, will give gamma is equal to Cp upon Cv. So that is the another relation by considering the adiabatic process. For this relation is specifically applicable to adiabatic process. Gamma is equal to Cp upon Cv. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. That is the one relation today we have discussed, and gamma is equal to Cp upon Cv. That is the another relation between Cp and Cv. So these both relation that you have to keep in mind, and that is useful for the purpose of calculating the example. So this is about the relation, and this equation is specifically applicable to adiabatic process, and usually the value of gamma is taken as 1.4. Keep in mind 1.4. Okay, now I will explain you or show you illustrative numericals based on this theory. Just you have to see and try to calculate this in your example book. So the gas expands adiabatically. Adiabatically means it follows the adiabatic process that gamma is equal to 1.4 from a pressure and volume of 1000 kilonewton per meter square and 0.01 meter cube to 200 kilonewton per meter square. So pressure is given, P1 is given, this is P1, this is P2, this is V1. You have to find out the V2. You have to find out the W, and you have to find out the delta U. Three figures you have to find out. How to find out that I will explain here. Just keep in mind, just concentrate on these things so you can easily or logically can solve this problem. Cp is given, Cv is given, P1, V1, P2 is given, V2 we have to find out, W we have to find out, delta U we have to find out. For adiabatic process, P1, V1 raised to N. Instead of N, we are putting it as gamma. So P1, V1 raised to gamma is equal to P2, V2 raised to gamma. Okay. And we have to find out the final volume. So V2 by V1, simply rearranging the term, V2 by V1 raised to gamma is equal to P1 by P2. So V2 by V1 is equal to P1 by P2 raised to 1 upon gamma. This is the simple mathematical rearrangement of the term that you have already done in the school level. Now gamma is what? Gamma is equal to Cp upon Cv. Cp is given, Cv is given, so you can easily find out gamma. And if it is not given, then you can directly take it as 1.4 for the purpose of adiabatic process. So V2 is equal to V1 into P1 by P2 raised to 1 upon gamma. This equation. Put the value of V1, P1, P2 and gamma and find out the V2 from this equation. You have to find out the V2 by putting all the equations. As gamma is not given, we have find out by using this term for the purpose of adiabatic process. So you can easily find out these things. Okay. So this is about the gamma, calculating the gamma, and from the gamma we are finding out the V2 final volume in meter cube. Then work done is equal to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 divided by gamma minus 1, where gamma is equal to 1.4. Now you have P1 V1, also P2 V2, also gamma, so you can easily find out the work done. 9 kilojoule and convert it into joule, and for adiabatic process work done is equal to minus delta U. Work done is equal to minus delta U according to the non-flow energy equation. So delta U is equal to minus W. So minus 9000 joule. Negative sign means loss of the internal energy. So this is the way how you can find out the work done and internal energy. Okay, same equation, same example is there. Okay, so this is about the relation between specific heat capacities, and almost we are likely completing the properties of the gases. Okay, so thanking you all.